It's impressive that you are surrounded by people constantly with different backgrounds, culture, and heritage, yet we do not know anything about anyone. Our goal is to take you on a journey with us to discover what it is like to be connected with the people around you. As we traveled on the cruise ship Adonia from Miami to Cuba and then to the Dominican Republic, we asked our fellow travelers about their life stories.
Wisconsin, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I grew up there, went to school there, joined the U.S. Peace Corps in 1986, and that's how I got to the Dominican Republic.
So I am a dancer at the moment. I am a dance teacher, and I have not always been a dancer. I used to work in finance and property management, but about 20 years ago I decided that that wasn't precisely what I wanted to do in life. I wanted to deliver entertainment to the world, and so I changed career. And since then I've been really enjoying my life, my time on this earth. So that's pretty much me. Yeah.
My mom and my dad are Dominican. I was born here in Santo Domingo, and at the age of 12, 13, we moved to Miami. So I went to school there in Miami, Florida. Later, I moved to New York, where I met my wife, and we married in Connecticut in 2005.
I am 14 years old. I am from Alpine, Utah, little city below Salt Lake. I generally like to play sports and pass around the football.
I speak 10 languages like English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Russian, Portuguese, Mandarin, Arabic, and my mother language Spanish. Also, I'm a language teacher and translator, and also I'm a second lieutenant of the Air Force and a paramilitary academy.
I guess I like to play ping pong at the ping pong table.
Where I studied psychology. I'm 24 years old. I will be 25 the 1st of May. And my current position is an impact guide, part of the impact team on board the Adonia.
As we got to know a little about our guest, we dug deeper. We asked them to tell us an experience that resonated with them the most.
Within that project was in the beginning, one of the women was forced to drop out of the project. There was 7 of them because her husband didn't want her to do it. He said she didn't need to have a job because he provided enough income for the family. Once we started selling the coffee, and actually other women started seeing that they did have some independence and some personal spending money, the woman joined back the group. She went, told her husband, says, I don't care what you say, I'm going to work with this project as well. And he had to accept it, and in fact eventually helped us out. So he would come and work for them every once in a while.
When I was in London, which is where I live, and there was this project which involved a fantastic choreographer, Akram Khan, and it was to do with getting absolutely the whole world to actually dance. And how did they do that? They actually made very simple steps available online for everyone to actually access it and learn it in their own time, in their own space. And then they would just have to record these little steps, routine, and then submit it. And I thought that was an amazing experience, an amazing project that actually would be accessible by everybody, and everyone would feel part of a community, in fact, it was actually done probably worldwide. So I believe that actually is something that does resonate with me. I really am about community work, teamwork, doing things together. If something doesn't work, let's find a way that can work. But this very project, just to, in a nutshell, was fantastic, reaching out everywhere with simple moves. So that's it.
In visiting a deaf man that we know, when we first met him, he doesn't know what the days of the week, he doesn't know the time of the day. The level of education here for the deaf people are very low, so they don't go to school. They just sit at the house and they're told what to do. So we started visiting him, and you could almost see his self-esteem as his stamina as a person start raising.
One time when I was at football practice, I was kind of feeling mad, and my coach came up to me and said, hey, I'm going to tell you a little secret, and then he said basically not to tell anybody else, so I'm not going to say it. Anyway, he said to learn from other people's mistakes and not make those mistakes. So that helped me to really feel like oh, I can probably do better than what I'm doing right now.
When I went to the community to take the filters, so I feel the joy, the happiness in the faces, because they knew they're going to have a better quality of life by drinking potable water.
Mozambique, Africa, and it's on the east coast of Africa. And while I was there, we made a friend who he was blind. His eyes were completely white and like didn't have any color or anything. He was just completely blind. And he took us to his house, which was basically just like a shack with a tin roof on it, and he didn't really have anything. He had several kids that he had to feed, but he brought us, a few of my friends and I, to his house, and he had absolutely nothing, but he was so hospitable.
Maybe a bit of a long story, I'll try not to make it long, but my birthday, 1st of May, was the first day that a US vessel entered Cuban waters in over 50 years, and this was a huge accomplishment, historical moment. And so that happened to be the day that we were sailing into Havana, and I got to see how all the Malecon, which is the sea walk, was full of Cubans with American flags cheering at us, mad about us. And once we dock, we step out of the ship, we had all the Cubans dressed up in fancy, colorful dresses, and they were singing and dancing salsa. It was amazing. I was dancing with them, and then we stepped out of the terminal, and the square was full of people. They all wanted to touch us. We felt like famous, like celebrities, and I got so many handshakes and so many kisses. It was ridiculous, and I will never forget that moment. It was a blessing, and from there on, they conquered me. I'm like, Viva Cuba!
Everyone strives to be happy. Happiness is a choice we can all make. So, what is their secret to happiness?
The best you can, helping others when you can, being true to yourself.
Key to happiness is definitely to learn, to continue to reshape yourself, continue to look up, be curious, That's it. I think that's what it is.
My wife and I are both raised as Jehovah's Witnesses, and we believe that Bible principles are the key to happiness.
Other people try to have enthusiasm and have fun.
The happiness is education, because when you have education, many doors will be open, and you will have many opportunities to work.
My source of joy is the Lord, and but not just like sitting here being like, oh, I believe in God, so I'm happy. It's like actually living with Him, and serving for Him, and being in a place like this where I get to like actively love Jesus and love other people. And I found that when I'm just like sitting at home or not really doing anything that is sacrificial or loving other people, then I'm not very happy. But when I can like pour myself out and serve others and do it like from a place of loving the Lord, then that's like where all my joy comes from.
Happiness. Key to happiness. Yeah, that's another good one, isn't it? Well, I'm gonna have to say something similar to what I said before. Just pay attention, be aware of what you are, what you want in life, truly listen to yourself, and then, I know it sounds like a cliche, but follow your passion or try to do so. There are so many people that keep fooling themselves in thinking that they're happy when they're not. I think you can achieve true happiness, have good connections.
We could tell that people were not used to being asked these prying questions. It is difficult to answer these questions. It requires you to take a moment and think. The next question we asked was to uncover their purpose in life.
What do I want to get out of it? I think it's quite hard to answer the question as if, in terms of what are we here for? It could become quite overwhelming. So I try not to answer that question, but just to basically be the best version of myself. however I can control that, and if I can do the best within that frame line, that goal, then I'll be very happy. You know, if I know that I've done my absolute best, no matter what the result is, I'll be very, very happy. So that's my goal.
It's always been to have a relationship with God and to be happy with each other and our families.
Honestly, I'm a Christian, so bear with me. I believe that we are actually being tested, so that if we are good people and we eventually live up to our full potential, we will be reunited in heaven and stuff.
I'm an international consultant in languages, so I can spread my languages, I can teach. So I have a future plans is to improve the education in my country.
I love Jesus, and I'm a Christian, and I think my main purpose is to live my life in a way that glorifies Him, and when people meet me, they get to meet Jesus too, and they walk away, like, even if they don't believe in God, they walk away still knowing Jesus a little bit more just for having met me. And then just to be His hands and feet, like to love people in a way that empowers them.
A scientist.
For me personally, I want to have a good experience of life, and I want to leave behind a good footprint or a good legacy. So from very personally, like me, and then to my family, I have 4 kids and I'm married. I want them to see me doing good things in life, and I want them hopefully to follow that, and then as that expands to others. So if I'm teaching, I want people to be, so I want to have integrity and doing good things in life and being good, and hopefully others can follow that.
Okay, yeah, something you can probably ask someone in an elevator, right? Very easy question. No, I think for each of us, we have a different purpose, and I like to say that the meaning of life is to give life a meaning. So each of us have a different one, a different call. We should all listen to ourselves. The answer is inside, and just do it. Just follow your purpose, enjoy the journey. That's about it. And make mistakes. Mistakes are our best teachers, so yeah.
We then asked if we were to broadcast this everywhere, on every radio station or TV station, what would you like to say?
Share and be happy.
Could be a bit rhetoric, but live and learn. But actually, I want to change that into live and dance.
We are doing good towards each other and also towards every other species.
I say get to know God.
Live, learn, succeed is my motto, I guess.
Study hard, because study will take you far.
We live in one world.
Love looks like something.
God loves us, like God loves people, and we need to know that.
I am horrible at ping pong.
Like, don't stop believing. That's one. Or I could just say, eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Yeah, there's many options. But no, I'm gonna use more than 5 words. I'm gonna use what Gandhi said. Be the change you want to see.